In 1776, British citizens gathered in Philadelphia to rebel against the most powerful empire our world had ever known. For their time had come to demand their freedom, their right to self-govern. And in their declaration, they changed the course of human history as we know it. They wrote that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among those rights are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive to these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it. But after we won our independence as a nation, our founders failed to ensure that everyone was free. And nearly 90 years later, our fight for freedom continued on through the abolition movement, a bloody civil war, and in decades of marching in streets to ensure full citizenship for every American citizen. That was our second fight for freedom. Friends, I believe it was no mistake as to why our founding fathers listed life as among the very first of our God-given rights in that Declaration of Independence. For without life, none of our other rights matter. Abortion advocates want to claim that they are defending the freedom of choice. They shout it at us, sometimes with not so nice words. What we call violence, they call a woman's right to choose. But no one has the right to choose death for another innocent human being. The founders understood that freedom can only survive within the constraints of justice. For if a king, a plantation owner, or even an abortion facility can take away a person's life at will, then no other rights are truly secure. None. And when the protection of these rights becomes disordered, when one's pursuit of happiness or liberty precedes another person's right to life, the result has always been, throughout history, devastation, resulting in subjugation to a foreign king, to a crown, slavery for those of a different skin color or those who may have been conquered. And since 1973, it's meant death for those whose existence is a mere inconvenience to another. So today, on the 49th anniversary of the handing down of the Roe v. Wade and Doe v. Bolton decisions, which together legalized abortion in our nation up until the moment of birth, I propose to you that it is us, our generation, each of us who were born after 1973 and could have been aborted for the price of a PlayStation, if you can find one. Thanks, Joe Biden. No. It has been all of us who have survived this abortion gauntlet, who I believe are being called to launch what will be the third and the final fight for freedom in our nation. To end the predatory lies, to end the violence of the abortion industry, to serve every woman and family in crisis on our campus and our community with hope, love, and tangible support, to protect every baby and their very first freedom, their right to be born, no matter their genetic code, their race, their sex, their sexual orientation, their religion, or the circumstance of their conception. to ensure that Roe v. Wade and Doe v. Bolton never see their 50th anniversary. To accomplish our full mission of making abortion unthinkable and unavailable, and to finally make good on our founders' promise of a nation devoted to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness for every citizen without exception, no matter their size, age, location, or circumstance. And as we anxiously, or in my case, very impatiently, await the Supreme Court decision in the Dobbs v. Jackson Women's Health Organization case this June, a decision that may very well throw Roe v. Wade onto the ash heap of history where it belongs alongside Dred Scott and Plessy, and then launch the next phase of the anti-abortion movement from Washington, D.C. to every one of your state capitals. It is up to us to work harder than we've ever worked before. At Students for Life, I am proud to say that this pro-life generation, we're a diverse army. That's more than 1,300 campuses, more than 100,000 supporters strong. Every day, you have the most mind-changing conversations with those directly targeted by the abortion industries create a customer business model. And every day, you ensure that no woman stands alone during her pregnancy or after the birth of her child. But this morning, I have to ask you to do more. So I want to ask you a few things today. First, I want you to get out your phones. Yes, I know it's considered rude to have your phones out when someone's speaking, but get out your phones right now and go to this website, studentsforlife.org/fight. Let's have so many people going on, it crashes my server. studentsforlife.org/fight. And share the TV commercial you saw before I entered the stage that is now running nationwide, to help us, the pro-life generation, recruit new members of all ages, of all political backgrounds, to this cause, to our army. After you go to studentsforlife.org/fight and you share the video, next, be ready this year. Be ready to call out the abortion lobby's post-Roe plan. You know how we have a post-Roe plan? That's what we're going to be talking about today. You need to be ready to call out the abortion lobby's post-Roe plan, which is a dangerous and radical expansion of chemical abortion pills that are not only deadly for every single child, but they're also deadly for their mothers. They want those pills to come to your campuses. If you're from California, they will be on your campus in a matter of months. So write this website down in your notes, or maybe go to it now and bookmark it. This is chemicalabortion.com. For I need you to watch a brand new docuseries, social media docuseries. It's very short segments, interviewing doctors, women who've taken chemical abortion drugs. I need you to watch this docuseries and share it with every person you know. Share the powerful and brutally honest testimonies of dozens of women who've shared with us what chemical abortion pills did not only to their child, but to them. And finally, today, I know I'm the bossy one. I always get to come up and tell you what to do. There's my one fan. He's always here. And finally, before you leave this summit, I want you to go to another website. I made this so digital for you this year because I'm so hip. Go to Post-Roe Generation.com to commit your next steps after today. Because today, the 49th anniversary of Roe versus Wade, my mission for you and my prayer for you today is that you take your rightful place in this final fight for freedom. And you become the post-Roe generation of American. Because you will commit to continuing your work on your campus and going out into your communities. Not only fighting the unjust policies in your campuses that discriminate and promote abortions for pregnant and parenting young people, not only staying on your campus and changing minds, but doing more. Joining Students for Life's Abortion-Free Cities campaigns, to knock on doors in your communities, to educate your neighbors about the nonviolent alternatives that are already set up and have been existing for decades to support women when abortion is no longer available. To join our groundbreaking Standing With You initiative. To sign up for the all-expense activism trips that Students for Life Action will be hosting this year to help hold our elected officials accountable. Yes, even the Republicans hold them accountable to their pro-life promises. So today, I've given you 3 tasks. Share the commercial at studentsforlife.org/fight to help us recruit new members to the pro-life generation that will become the post-Roe generation. Save and watch and promote the This Is Chemical Abortion docuseries with every person you know. And go to postroegeneration.com and sign up and take your next step. You know, our forefathers ended the Declaration of Independence, their call for a revolution, saying it was, quote, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. Men and women, friends and allies, people I took selfies with yesterday. Our founders' pledge is the exact pledge I have for you today. For today, I pledge to you my honor, my fortune, and my life to ensure millions of lives may one day live to be free. The final fight for freedom is here. It's today. It's now. And there is no greater cause in our world. And I'm all in for life. So now, I have the honor to introduce to you one of my heroes who's been waging the final fight for freedom, who has remained steadfast, courageous, unapologetic in his convictions, who, when asked why he and his wife first decided to run for office, pulled out a Time magazine cover and showed the humanity of the child in the womb to their 3 small children and simply said, for the babies. Who ensured the most pro-life presidential administration in the history of our nation, for which is the reason we have hope today that the newly minted pro-life majority on the Supreme Court will send Roe v. Wade to the ash heap of history. A man I am truly honored to call my friend and a fellow warrior in this final fight for freedom, Mr. Vice President Mike Pence and Mrs. Karen Pence.